Have you ever walked into a home so clean, so peaceful? It felt like stepping into another world? Not the kind of clean that smells like bleach and effort, but the kind of clean that whispers, "You are welcome here." I remember the first time I stepped into a traditional Japanese home. No shoes, no clutter, no noise, just soft light, quiet air, and a woman in her 70s gently wiping down her entryway like a daily prayer. It wasn't about perfection. It was about presence. In Japan, cleaning is more than a chore. It's a way of life. It's respect. It's mindfulness. It's a quiet conversation with your space. And the best part? You don't need fancy gadgets or expensive sprays. Just a shift in how you see the act of cleaning. In this video, we'll explore 8 powerful insights behind Japan's cleaning culture. From the tools they use to the philosophy behind every motion. You'll learn techniques that are simple, effective, and soul-soothing. And along the way, you might just discover that cleaning isn't what you thought it was. Let's step inside, together. Why Japan is obsessed with cleanliness. In a quiet neighborhood outside Kyoto, I once saw an elderly man, maybe in his 80s, gently sweeping the front of his home with a handmade bamboo broom. Not a leaf in sight, not a speck of dirt. Still, he swept, every single morning. When I asked him why, he paused, looked at the sky, and said, "Because the world deserves to be treated with respect." That simple sentence captures something profound. In Japan, cleanliness isn't about appearances. It's about reverence. It's woven into daily life, from the way shoes are removed at the door, to the spotless streets outside convenience stores, to how school children clean their classrooms before going home. But where does this deep-rooted value come from? Much of it is tied to Shintoism, Japan's indigenous belief system, which teaches that spirits, called kami, inhabit all things: trees, rivers, homes, and even objects. To keep a place clean is to honor these spirits. Cleanliness, then, is sacred. Buddhism adds another layer, the idea that cleaning isn't just physical, it's mental hygiene. Monks clean their temples not just to remove dust, but to remove ego. And this mindset ripples through generations. Japanese children grow up learning that to clean is to care, not just for your space, but for others. There's a reason why, after a World Cup match, Japanese fans stay behind to clean the stadium. It's not a show. It's a habit, a deeply human one. So when we look at the Japanese obsession with cleanliness, it's not about being neat freaks. It's about living with intention, gratitude, and humility every time the mop hits the floor or the cloth touches glass. And it starts with the smallest tools. Let's take a look at the quiet brilliance behind Japan's most humble cleaning heroes, from microfiber cloths to simple scrub brushes. The genius of everyday tools, microfiber, brushes, and buckets. When I first stayed with a host family in Osaka, I offered to help clean the kitchen after dinner. The mother smiled, handed me a tiny cloth, and said, "This one is for the fridge handle only." Just the fridge handle? In most homes, cleaning tools are generic, one rag for everything. But in Japan, tools are intentionally chosen, each with a clear purpose. Take the microfiber cloth, for example, not just any rag. The Japanese often keep 3 types. A soft, ultra-fine cloth just for mirrors and windows. No streaks, no scratches. A slightly thicker one for countertops and stovetops. And a gentle touch cloth for electronics, designed not to disturb even a speck of dust inside your laptop fan. Why so specific? Because in Japan, cleaning isn't just about removing dirt. It's about preserving the integrity of what you clean. Every object deserves care. Then there's the 2-bucket method. One bucket with soapy water for cleaning, another with clean water for rinsing the mop. It sounds basic, almost old-fashioned, but it prevents what we often do, spreading dirty water around and calling it clean. In a typical Japanese household, this method is second nature. It reflects a deeper logic. Never put back what you just removed. Dirt doesn't belong where it's been cleaned, ever. And the scrubbing brush, oh, the humble brush. Compact, palm-sized, often made from natural fibers. It fits neatly into your hand and gets into the tightest corners. Behind faucets, under cabinet handles, between floor tiles. There's no noise, no batteries, no plastic refills. Just the quiet effectiveness of design that works. What strikes me is this. None of these tools are revolutionary. They're ordinary, until paired with extraordinary intention. Where we might chase the latest gadget or multi-purpose cleaner, the Japanese remind us that it's not the tool that matters, but how you use it. And when every item in your cleaning arsenal has a purpose, cleaning becomes faster, simpler, almost effortless, which leads us to something even more powerful than tools, a mindset, one that says, don't wait, just clean as you go. Clean as you go, the invisible discipline. If you ever cook with a Japanese grandmother, you'll notice something curious. The sink is never full, the counter is never messy, and somehow, by the time the meal is ready, the kitchen is already clean. It's not magic, it's mindset. In Japan, there's a quiet rule, owari wa hajimari. The end is the beginning, which means, as you do one thing, you prepare for the next. And nowhere is that more evident than in the way they clean. They don't wait until the chaos builds. They clean as they go. Cooking? They wipe the counter after slicing each ingredient. Used a spoon? It's washed before the next one is picked up. Taking a shower? They rinse the walls and towel dry the floor before they even reach for the hairdryer. Brushed your teeth? They'll wipe down the sink before putting the brush back. These are not cleaning sessions. They're micro moments of care, woven into daily life. What does this do? It eliminates the mess mountain we often face at the end of a long day. There's no dreaded Saturday deep clean, because nothing ever gets that bad. It also rewires the brain. Instead of seeing cleaning as a chore, it becomes a flow, a rhythm, a moment of reset. In fact, some Japanese companies train employees to tidy their workspaces every hour, just 2 minutes of resetting. It's not about productivity, it's about clarity, about showing respect to your space and to yourself. Imagine walking into your kitchen tomorrow morning and not seeing dishes from last night. Imagine your bathroom mirror never needing a deep wipe again. Imagine living in a home that's always just right because you cleaned it without even thinking about it. That's the invisible power of clean as you go. And once that habit becomes second nature, you'll find yourself wanting to clean with even fewer tools, or better yet, make your own. Let's explore the simple ingredients in your pantry that can replace a whole cabinet of cleaners. Natural wisdom, vinegar, baking soda, and DIY cleaners. When I was living in a small village near Nara, I watched a grandmother clean her entire home with nothing more than a bottle of vinegar, a lemon, and a pinch of green tea. No gloves, no warnings on labels, just simplicity. She smiled and said, "If you wouldn't put it on your skin, why would you put it on your floor?" That's the heart of Japan's approach to cleaning, gentle on the home and kind to the earth. Let's start with vinegar, the ultimate multitasker. Diluted with water, it becomes a glass cleaner that leaves no streaks. Used in the bathroom, it dissolves soap scum and hard water stains. In the laundry, a cup of vinegar softens clothes and eliminates odors. No synthetic perfumes needed. Then there's baking soda. Mix it into a paste and it scrubs your stovetop without scratching. Sprinkle it in your shoes, on carpets, or inside the fridge, and it eats odors for breakfast. It's a gentle abrasive, a deodorizer, a stain fighter, and it costs cents. And of course, lemon. Antibacterial, acidic, fresh. Rubbed on cutting boards, it removes stains and leaves a citrus scent. Combine lemon juice with vinegar or baking soda, and you've got a cleaner that sparkles like a store-bought one, without the harsh aftermath. Even used green tea leaves aren't wasted. They're dried and sprinkled into trash bins or onto wooden surfaces for a subtle, earthy freshness. But here's what matters more than the ingredients: the intention behind them. When you mix your own cleaner, you slow down. You choose. You care. You're no longer spraying chemicals you can't pronounce. You're crafting something clean, honest, and human. Japanese homes embrace this DIY mindset not out of frugality, but from a desire to live in harmony with the things they touch. It's cleaning that feels like cooking, intentional, nourishing, and best of all, safe for kids, pets, and anyone with a nose for peace. So the next time you reach for a bottle with a skull and crossbones label, ask yourself, could vinegar do the same? And once your tools are clean, your counters fresh, and your conscience clear, you might start to wonder, what if we could clean our space by folding it? Space-saving, soul-calming, folding, screens, and sliding doors. When my American friend visited Tokyo for the first time, she opened a drawer in her host family's home and froze. Towels were folded so precisely, they looked like soft little bricks of serenity. She whispered, "It's like origami, but for laundry." In Japan, folding isn't just about tidiness. It's a ritual of respect. Let's begin with the KonMari method, made famous by organizing expert Marie Kondo. Clothes are folded into compact, upright rectangles, not stacked, but stood up, so you can see everything at a glance. It saves space, yes, but more than that, it transforms chaos into calm. You don't dig through piles, you glide through options. And towels? They're not just folded. They're rolled with care, each one the same size, same shape, like a quiet chorus of order on the shelf. But the Japanese approach to space goes beyond the drawer. Ever seen a shoji screen? Made of delicate wooden frames and translucent paper, these screens don't just divide rooms. They conceal clutter. They create privacy. They offer a visual pause in a busy home. Instead of building more walls, they build more flexibility. You can hide a stack of laundry, create a reading nook, block a harsh light, all with a panel that weighs less than a suitcase. And then, there are sliding doors. No swinging, no knocking over furniture, no wasted space. Just a gentle slide, and suddenly, the room opens, or closes, or transforms. In small Japanese homes, this isn't just design, it's survival. Every square inch matters. But more than that, movement matters. Sliding doors move quietly, screens fold gently, drawers open to reveal harmony. It all creates an atmosphere that says, you are not just in control of your space, you are in rhythm with it. And that's what makes cleaning easier. Less clutter, fewer distractions, and more energy to focus on what matters. Because when your space breathes, you breathe better too. And nowhere is that more true than in the one room that needs peace the most, the bathroom. The bathroom sanctuary, steam, toothbrushes, and towel care. In most homes, the bathroom is just functional, a place to rinse, rush, and move on. But step into a Japanese bathroom, and it feels different. It's warm, quiet, almost sacred. This isn't just where they clean themselves, it's where they reset. Cleanliness here isn't about scrubbing, it's about soothing. Let's start with steam cleaning. Rather than harsh sprays or bleach, many Japanese households use steam, a natural chemical-free way to loosen grime from tile grout, faucets, and glass. The heat lifts away residue. The moisture softens buildup. And when you wipe it down, it gleams without effort. No gloves, no fumes, just water and time. Then there's the toothbrush trick. Not for your teeth, but for every tight, tricky, impossible-to-reach place. The rim behind the faucet, the track of the shower door, even the tiny creases around the toilet base. A simple toothbrush, old but clean, becomes a precision tool in the art of bathroom care. And because it's so gentle, you can scrub with confidence, without scratching, overspraying, or wasting product. But perhaps the most surprising habit is how they care for towels. After every use, towels aren't just tossed in the laundry. They're rinsed with hot water, squeezed out, and hung to dry immediately. Why? Because even towels need care. Rinsing removes oils and residue, keeps bacteria from multiplying, and ensures that tomorrow's dry-off is as fresh as today's. This attention to detail doesn't come from obsessiveness. It comes from respect. Respect for fabric, respect for air, respect for the next person who uses the space. In Japan, even the bathroom says, "You matter." It's why public restrooms often include sound machines to mask noise. Why toilet seats are warm. Why bidets are common, not as a luxury, but as a kindness. And when the smallest room in your home is treated with such care, you begin to wonder, what other overlooked places could use a little more attention? Like the corners of your bookshelves, behind your TV, the vents in your laptop. Let's dust off the quiet spaces next. Dust and details, air compressors, newspapers, and damp cloths. Once, while visiting a retired engineer in Sapporo, I watched him clean his television. Not with a cloth, not with a spray, but with a small air compressor, the kind you'd use on camera lenses. With one gentle puff, dust flew out of vents, ports, and speaker holes I hadn't even noticed. He looked at me and said, "Dust is lazy. If you don't chase it, it hides." That moment stuck with me, because in many homes, dusting is a rush job. A swipe here, a wipe there. But in Japan, dusting is a discipline. Let's start with that air compressor trick. Instead of cramming a cloth into tight spots, or worse, ignoring them, a short burst of air removes buildup without damage. Electronics last longer, the air feels cleaner, and nothing gets pushed deeper into vents or fans. Then there's the newspaper method. Simple, sustainable, and surprisingly effective. Crumple a sheet of old newspaper. Wipe down glass, countertops, or mirrors. No lint, no streaks, no waste. The slightly rough texture grabs dust like a magnet. And best of all, you've just recycled something that would have gone to the trash. Finally, the unsung hero of Japanese cleaning, the damp cloth. Not wet, not dry, just right. A barely moist microfiber cloth lifts dust without sending it airborne. So your cleaning isn't just cosmetic, it's complete. It's especially useful on delicate surfaces. TV screens, lacquered wood, sliding door tracks, even bookshelves, where dry cloths often leave more dust than they remove. These aren't flashy hacks. They're not viral TikTok tricks. They're habits born from observation and patience. Because here's the truth. A dusty corner may seem harmless, but it signals neglect. And neglect, like dust, spreads quietly. But when you notice the tiny things, you begin to notice everything. And when every corner sparkles, your whole home feels lighter. Which brings us to the last piece of this puzzle. What happens when you bring all these habits together in the way you treat even your trash? Let's take a look at Japan's most meticulous, meaningful habit. Organized waste. Organized trash. Clean mind. The final secret. A few years ago, a friend of mine moved to Tokyo for work. On her first week, she got a polite but firm note taped to her trash bin. "Please sort your waste correctly. Thank you for keeping the neighborhood beautiful." She was stunned. Not because she was scolded, but because everyone else took trash that seriously. In Japan, taking out the garbage is an art form. Every neighborhood has strict schedules. Burnables on Mondays, non-burnables on Thursdays, plastics on alternating weeks, and don't forget to rinse your containers. Tie the bag just right. Leave it out only after 7 a.m. It sounds like a hassle, but in truth, it's a philosophy. Waste is still part of your home. And how you treat it reflects how you treat your space, your neighbors, and the planet. By separating paper from food scraps, glass from plastic, organic from synthetic, you reduce smells, pests, and chaos. But more than that, you create clarity. A clean trash system becomes a clean habit. It teaches mindfulness. It teaches accountability. It even teaches gratitude, because you notice what you throw away. Many Japanese homes even repurpose waste, used tea leaves to deodorize shoes, orange peels to freshen the sink, old towels cut into reusable rags. Nothing is wasted, nothing is dismissed. And perhaps that's the final secret to Japanese cleaning. It's not about perfection, it's about participation. In a culture that prizes harmony, cleaning isn't just what you do, it's who you are in relation to your space. So whether it's folding a towel with care, using vinegar instead of chemicals, or placing your trash bag with intention, you're not just cleaning a home. You're creating a life of quiet dignity.